Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Epic Battles. To celebrate the return of the series, I have a special Rome 2 4v4 battle for you guys. In this multiplayer battle, every faction had only access to 3500 talents and was only able to bring 3 units to the field, which turned out to be an interesting setup. The only other limitations were no elephants, no chariots and no artillery. Let's take a look at all the factions and armies. So here we are again on the battlefield. The team consisting of Baktria, the Arverni and the 2 Spartan players start out on the hill and will do everything they can to defend it and break the incoming enemies. On the other side though is the attacking team consisting of the Seleucids, Armenia, Egypt and Carthage, and they will try to storm the hill and kill anyone that's still on top of it. I was playing as the Seleucids in this battle myself, and the other players are either subscribers and a couple of randoms. Names can be found in the description. While the enemy forces deployed in a very defensive formation, we were trying to surround the hill in order to storm it from all sides. We knew that we were at a serious disadvantage because of the hill, so we had to use our unit types as best as possible. While our team had a large cavalry advantage, including horse archers, the enemy team had access to more missile troops and some tough infantry, so we had to keep that in mind. While we are trying to surround the hill, the Egyptian Cretan archers, our only long-range missile unit, start to trade fire with the Bactrian archers on the hill. This is a bad engagement for us, which is why I'm trying to send my Hellenic Cataphracts unit to scare the enemy archers away. It does not work however, and this action turned out to be a mistake, as my guys take a lot of unnecessary damage. My Cataphracts did not only attract archer fire though, the noble horse general comes after me as well. When he is intercepted by infantry, he realizes that he has made a big mistake and tries to escape from the engagement. We don't want to let him go though, because it is one of the few strong cavalry units and the general for the Gauls, so after a long pursuit by both the Cataphracts and the Carthaginian general, we managed to catch and annihilate the entire enemy unit. In the meantime, our Armenian player is behind the enemy lines and starts to shoot at the enemy infantry whenever he gets a chance, trying to whittle down as much as possible. A few moments later, another interesting thing happens when the Bactrians think that the Carthaginian noble fighters come too close. The Bactrian royal cavalry goes for a straight downhill charge and seems to crush the infantry unit. For some reason though, only 1 soldier got killed and the cavalry unit has to flee the scene with only 40 out of 60 men remaining. A couple of other small skirmish phases happen, but those only lead to small amounts of casualties on both sides. Now that the enemy is completely surrounded, we're ready to assault the hill. The skirmish phase has taken its toll on the defenders though, the noble horse got destroyed and the Bactrian royal cavalry already suffered a lot of damage. Most units have lost a couple of soldiers by now because of missile fire, however except for the cavalry there are no units lost. Taking down the enemy cavalry was a huge success for our team, because it leaves us with a mighty cavalry advantage for the late game. So before we ran up to attack the enemy from all sides, we first wanted to use the ammo we had. The Egyptian royal peltasts, my Tyrial spears and the Armenian horse archers opened fire on various important targets. After a few moments, the Armenian royal cataphracts give the signal and directly charge the Spartan lines. This was the time to attack. So the cataphracts just charged in, as you can see, in the north, and now the Carthaginian player is also moving up his mercenary noble fighters and he's going to engage his Heroes of Sparta. Is about to get a good charge. He bunches up his units a little, but still. On the right side, I'm trying to get the enemy archers, the Spartan archers, with my Cataphracts, as you can see, trying to just move between these infantry units. I do manage to catch one, not the best charge, as you can see. But this was a mistake, because one of the Spartan units can now engage me from the side, and the other Spartan unit will get me from my rear. So I'm just trying to pull out of this fight, but this is just a very bad engagement, and I will suffer a lot of casualties in this one. Then back on the other flank, the Carthaginian soldiers are still at war, the Egyptian forces are now also moving up, and the same goes for the Carthaginian general. The Armenian player retreated his Cataphracts and he's looking for another target while still trying to kill the Spartan general with his horse archer, you can see. I managed to retreat my Cataphract, however I lost the 30 men of my unit, which is of course pretty bad. My Tyrial Spears are trying to get away because they still have ammo, but they're about to be catched by this Bactrian Royal Cavalry and then the Oathsworn in the back, so they are not gonna live for long, but yeah. The Egyptian player now also moves up, he's shooting with his archers as well, moves into the melee, he tries to charge the Spartan and Gallic infantry lines from the back and he manages to do so, as you can see. Great charge. My shield bearers are in the middle. I'm also looking for the best target. Maybe I can catch some missiles or some enemy infantry in the rear that's already engaged. However, I get locked down by this Bactrian Royal Cav, as you can see, and now this Spartan unit and I think another Bactrian unit will engage me as well, which leaves me completely surrounded. Over here, my Tyrial Spears are getting absolutely destroyed. However, I do receive some help from this Royal Cataphract who just charged this Heroes of Sparta unit. Deals a bit of damage, however Heroes of Sparta are of course a very tough unit, very hard to take down. Now this is kind of bad. What's left of the Bactrian Royal Cavalry gets away and is about to charge the mercenary Cretan archers. He does it right now, so that will do a huge amount of damage. It's quite bad for us. My Cataphract unit over here also picking up some archers. They just killed a couple here. And the melee fight is just turning into our favor very slowly. We are getting the best engagements right now. Our plan is working. We're surrounding the enemy and we're pretty much attacking them from all sides. For example, this flank, the Carthaginians and the Egyptians are fighting from both sides. Over here it's still a 1v1, but they're about to get help, I think, from the Armenians as well. My shield bearers are in the back trying to get their archers away. Just routed one of their archer units and the other one is going to go here as well. However, this is the only problem. This flank has fallen, my Tyrial Spears unit has fallen, we didn't have any more infantry on this flank, so this infantry is now free to engage my shield bearers from the back, and later they will also be able to charge or other infantry over here in the back. I just charged this infantry block with my general as well. The Spartan general is about to go down, but just not yet. Very tough unit, as I mentioned. But from now on, everyone is basically in melee. There are still a couple of good units around, but it's starting to turn into our favor. At this point the remaining units started duking it out in melee. As you can see, the attacking team has clearly taken the lead and half of the enemy units had been destroyed. It were most of all the Spartans who were still very much alive and providing a challenge. They got attacked from all sides, got charged by cavalry, but still held their own for a very long time. It was only a matter of time until all defenders routed and the attacking team was victorious this day. A very enjoyable battle to play. If you want to play some multiplayer battles with me as well, you can add me on Steam, the link is in the description. I hope you enjoyed this epic battle and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.